Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to help you fix 7 mistakes that you might be making when you're working on your ball handling. Now look, one of the worst feelings in the world as a basketball player is working really hard at a skill, but never really getting that much better at it. And yes, hard work is definitely required to help you get better, but it will only take you so far because really anybody can work hard. And that's what I'm going to help you with today. I'm going to show you how you can work hard, but also work smart. And I'm going to show you some drills that can actually help your ball handling skills.
One thing that every hooper should understand is that when you see an NBA player doing simple ball handling drills, especially pregame, these are typically used for a warm-up. These drills that they're doing pregame are not typically the ones that help them become a great ball handler. Now, these drills might have helped them when they first started playing basketball, but after a while, they have to find things that are more challenging, and these are used more as a warm-up.
The first mistake I see players doing all the time is spending too much time pounding the ball straight into the ground with their hand always hitting the top of the ball. And don't get me wrong, doing pound dribbles like this is a great warm-up and it's great for beginner players. But after a while, it's only going to take you so far. Because you got to think about it, in a real game, how often are you just standing and dribbling in a stationary spot like this? Not very often. You're usually moving forward, you're crossing the ball over, you're bringing it backward. Your hand is actually moving all over the ball, not just on top. And that's a skill that we can work on. So a simple drill to work on this, grab a cone or really any object. Put that object straight down in front of you. And now all you have to do is dribble over top of the object. So I'm going to dribble one time on this side and then bring it over here. So I'm working on that push and pull action where my hand is actually hitting on the side of the ball and then on this side of the ball. So we're here going straight down and pushing and pulling over top of that cone, continuous, and I can feel my hand hitting on both sides of the basketball. Now let's say we want to add a little bit more to this drill and work on more control. You can add combinations. So I can go over the top plus between. So it's 1, 2, 3, between. 1, 2, 3, between. The point is here, don't spend so much time just working on straight down dribbles. You got to push the ball forward, move it side to side, and move it backward. And the second mistake I see players not fixing enough is working on change of pace. So a lot of times we're either pounding the ball at one speed or we're crossing the ball over at one speed, and we're not spending enough time going slow to quick or quick, slow, quick. Being able to change your pace is essential to becoming a great ball handler. So a very simple drill to work on pace just to begin with is going cross and letting it float. So I'm here, I'm going 1, 2, slow, quick, slow, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And with this method, you can use any combination dribble you want. Like I could go cross between, slow, quick behind. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So if you're going to work on your ball handling, make sure you add those little pauses in there to work on your change of pace. The third mistake I see players doing all the time is not working on weight shifts and changing their height. So a lot of times when you see people work on their ball handling, they get really low and they stay right here the whole time, which is definitely not how you play in a real game. In a real game, I'm going from high to low, back up high, getting back low. So we need to start putting some of that in your ball handling drills. So a simple drill you could start with is putting 1 foot behind you, 1 foot forward. Then you're going to go between your leg and shift your weight low on the between and then pull the ball back and come up with your height. Then you're going to let the ball float and then you're going to go between, cross. So it's between, cross, relax. Between, cross, relax. Between, cross, relax. Not only am I working on the weight shift and the change of height, I'm working on that change of pace that we talked about earlier. So now you guys got it. If you're going to work on ball handling, make sure you're working on weight shifts and change of height. The fourth mistake players are making when they're working on their handles is that they're just doing drills that count up to a certain amount of reps. So what I mean by that is this. Let's say I'm doing a cross between behind drill. Instead of just getting to 20 cross between behinds, let's add a timed challenge to it. Now this is going to help me push my pace because I got to get a certain amount of reps in a certain amount of time. So an easy one with this is I'm going to start a 30-second timer and I have to get 25 cross between behinds. So when I go cross between behind, 1, 2, 3, that's 1 rep. I got to get 25 of those in 30 seconds. Now, if you're a beginner, maybe trying to get 15. If you're a little bit higher, maybe 20. If you're a really good ball handler and you want to test it, try to get to that 25 or above mark. And again, you don't have to go cross between behind. Pick any drill you want to work on, but add a time challenge to it write down your score, and every time you do it, see if you can beat that past score. And the fifth mistake I see players doing is that they don't focus on their offhand or the hand that doesn't have the ball. Think about it. In a game, that offhand is still active. Sometimes I'm swiping a defender, maybe my arm's up, maybe my hand's going up to connect with the ball, or maybe I'm just running. That offhand is active, and we need to train it. One of the easiest ways to train this is grab a chair or go to a wall that's about hip height or lower. The first drill is very simple. Get that chair down and cross the ball over, touch the chair with the offhand, and then cross it back and touch. So we're gonna go cross, touch, 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 touch. And if that's too easy, then get 2 touches. Cross, touch, 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 touch. And if that's too easy, go 3. Cross, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe you wanna work on between touch, between, tap, 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 or behind, tap, 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 tap. Another drill that seems really simple, that's very difficult, is having a slow pound dribble with your ball hand, and then your offhand is gonna tap the chair as fast as possible. So one hand is doing something very slow, the other hand is doing something as fast as possible. So I'll get this dribble down nice and slow, and then when I'm ready, this left hand needs to go as fast as possible. And what you'll notice is when this hand goes really fast, this hand also wants to go fast, and you need to break it apart. So now you know if you're gonna work on ball handling, make sure you hit your offhand too. And the sixth mistake I see players doing is they're not incorporating their footwork with their handle. So the last 5 drills, I've shown you stationary drills that you can do, but it's also important that you learn how to move your feet with the ball. So a really simple drill is to grab 3 cones and space them out pretty evenly. On the first cone, I'm gonna pick a start or an attack move, like a crossover. So maybe on this first cone, I'm working on a shifty crossover. Then on the second cone, I'm gonna work on a stop or a change of direction. So let's say I wanna do an under drag on the second cone. So I would have to go crossover, step, step, under drag. And then on the third cone, we need to work on a stop. So maybe on this last cone, I wanna work on a speed stop behind, and then I'm going to retreat and go backwards all the way to the start of the cone again. And you can mix up all these cones. So maybe I just want to work on a jab, a simple between the legs, change of direction, and then a different stop. Pick any moves you want for the cones. So in my drill, I would go cross, drag, speed stop, retreat back, switch hands, do it again. Cross, drag, switch, speed stop, do it again. So now I'm working on different dribbles with my hands, but my feet are gonna be tied to it as well. And the 7th and final mistake I see players doing too much is that they don't leave time for freestyle dribbling. Meaning players sometimes spend too much time working on very structured workout plans that tell them what to do every time. Sometimes, man, it's just good to go out there, put the headphones in, listen to some music, and flow and move around by yourself. Now look, I'm gonna be honest, when you first start doing some freestyle dribbling, it can be a little awkward at times. But the more you do it, the more creative you start to become and the different types of dribbles you start to use. So an example would be, maybe I'm listening to my music and I'm just working on different types of dribbles, and I'm trying to go forward, come back, go forward again, stop, right? And then maybe it's quick combos. I'm just working on going forward, sideways, slow to quick, weight shift, changing my height. Basically, all the things that we worked on in those stationary drills, I kind of want to bring them to life in this freestyle drill. And there you have it, guys. If you liked this video and I gave you some value and helped you out, make sure you actually like the video, leave me a comment, and hit the subscribe button because I got more like this coming out soon. And here's a real test to my real subscribers. If you watch this whole video, you'll know the answer. Did I hit this half court shot or not? Leave your answer in the comments.